now join Fidelis Mba of BBC Africa, an analyst of all things Nigerian here in London. And Fidelis, I suppose in terms of the background, making sense of what Goodluck Jonathan is doing here, I need to know from you, why now? Why this major offensive now?
I think he's increasingly coming under, pressure from both the international community and then even Nigerians, because all along they feel it's been a case of no action, all about talk. And the fight against terrorism across the world has not succeeded in just mere talk and maybe just issuing statements, which is why, he had to cut short his visit to South Africa, cancelled his state visit to Namibia to come back to Nigeria. And this is really different from what has happened over the years.
Well, it does look a little different. Tell me more about Boko Haram, because we just heard Abdullahi there saying that there are reports from Borno that they hold perhaps the majority of regions within the state. That is swathes of territory that are now in the hands of this fundamentalist Islamist group. Just how strong do you believe them to be?
Well, they are very strong, and they are getting stronger. Until, the declaration of this state of emergency, they were actually getting more sophisticated in terms of their attack, in terms of their operations. And unlike other months where before now what we were just doing was merely more like just attacking maybe police formations and all that. But right now they've even upgraded into kidnapping children and women, which is actually a dangerous trend. They've taken control of major cities and some towns like in Borno State, where they've even chased away government officials. As it stands, government is more like non-existent in some areas in northern Nigeria.
Briefly, Fidelis, just tell me about the politics of this, because there are going to be casualties, probably on both sides in the coming days as this offensive unfolds. Where do you think Nigerian public opinion is right now?
Well, as it stands, even some of the people who were actually more like against, military approach to this are more like backtracking now and supporting the offensive against the insurgents, because before now they've been invited for talks, they refused to come for negotiations, and now government was just merely mounting roadblocks and just checking them. But right now with the full offensive, yes, there might be civilian casualties, but again, there have been calls for some of the people who are living in those communities to either identify them or pull from that area while the military operation is on.
Fidelis Mba from BBC Africa, thanks very much for joining us in the GMT studio.